Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Popeye. I run a very popular news and information website called federaljack.com, and I do a radio show 4 nights a week on the Truth Frequency Radio Network called Down the Rabbit Hole with Popeye. Many of you already know this. Some of you might be new to this information. The purpose of this video is to show you all, whether you're a long-time listener or a new listener, the multiple ways to interact with me for the radio show, and how to listen, and how to listen to the archives, and how to use Federal Jack really quick. So it's going to be a few minutes in length the video here, but it's important. I want to show you some of the features of the website and the radio show and how to listen. So first we'll start with Federal Jack. The website is pretty big. It's like an iceberg. You might only see a little bit of it on the top, but underneath the water, it's a massive, 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 massive structure. And that's the way Federal Jack is. It's been around for about 7 years. It's just a archive of information if you don't know about it. If you already do, then I don't think I have to explain this to you. When you first come to the website, this is what you'll see. These are the categories, and then these are the main categories, and some of them, if you highlight, you'll see they have subcategories. Like politics, for instance, has one of the biggest subcategory sections. You can just click on it, and if you click on one of these, it'll bring you to a listing of all the articles, starting with the newest going to the oldest, of all the articles that are listed under that subsection, whether it's media fail, gun control, the police state, council on foreign relations, anything. Doesn't matter. These up here at the top are different pages. So for instance, if you want to go to my radio archive section, well, you can, there's multiple ways to do it, and I'll show you that in a second, but you could highlight this up here with the cursor and then pick one of the different drop-down menus that you want. If you wanted to go to the radio show chat, you could do it from here. I have a mini store. I don't really sell a lot of t-shirts or bumper stickers. I had t-shirts. I have to get a new order. But right now I do hard drive orders, and I also have a copy of Judith Baker's book, Me and Lee. It's a special signed edition, which I'll show you. There's another way to get to it on the site down here. But then you have the download section, about, and all this other stuff. So if you look on the front here, you'll notice that there is a bunch of different things here, all different articles. This is the featured the featured articles section, where all the newest stuff I usually put up goes here, and then all the subcategories are down here as follows, which you can see. The first one is U.S. News, and then you have this whole column right here is all my shows. So as I post the shows, which I don't post them in order because I render them usually out of order when I do the archive for the archive section on the website here, and for YouTube, which I'll show you in a sec too. So they're not always rendered or posted here in order, but they are in order in the archive section. But if you go under the heading of DTRH with Popeye, which you see right here, if you click on that, for instance, it'll bring up all of the shows I've ever done that I have listed under that category. And then you just click on, and it'd be the same thing with any section that you're looking up, any article. And you just click on the header, and then it'll open up the article. Now, I'm doing this with one of the radio shows to kill two birds with one stone, and show you this. So now you see how to open up a post, very simple, like most websites. But you also now are going to get a quick tutorial on how the post for each show works, just in case people aren't sure. So when you go to the front page, you'll see I've posted Down the Rabbit Hole with Popeye, or I've posted in the archive section the newest shows or whatever, and you click on it and it opens up the corresponding page. There's a description, which you see right here, and then under the description, this is an actual player. So if I click this, you'll hear my intro play. Listen.
One world currency. A new world order. Those are the roots of trouble, I imagine.
And that's how you can sit and listen to the show if you want right from the site. You can just click the play button here. Volume controls over here. You can click this link, which opens up the YouTube version of the show, the YouTube archive of the show. And you can watch it on YouTube. and I upload it to a couple different YouTube channels. There's one specifically for the archive channel, but it is uploaded to multiple different channels to get maximum reach. And then underneath here, you have links to all the different stuff. All my Twitter accounts, and every show is like this. All the, especially the newer ones. Some of the older stuff from like 2 years ago isn't like this, and as I go through, I fix them. But all the newer stuff will have the exact same layout. You'll have the player, the link to listen to it on YouTube, and then you'll have the link to the full downloadable archive section, the main archive page itself, the listen live page, truth frequency, and then the Facebook page. And every one of these is like this. Also, you can hit like and like the if you're logged into Facebook in that browser, you can hit the like button here, or if you happen to be logged into Twitter, you can hit tweet and then open it up and put in wherever you want. A lot of times if there's not enough like room because of the title, you see where after the title it always says ... federal jack. You can just remove this part if that's, you know, too much of a pain in the butt, because see, as soon as I removed it, it freed up enough characters, so now there's not a problem. And then I would just hit tweet, and boom, out goes the tweet. So there it goes. I just tweeted that out live while you guys are watching. And it's as simple as that. You can share. You like the show, you like what I have to say, you share it, as well as other articles on the website too. You can do it with anything. So it's that simple. So that's, now you know how to operate one of those show posts. Because some people have asked me there, you know, it sounds stupid, but some people have asked me, hey, I don't understand quite how to operate the player. Could you show me? So that's how you do it. And if you have an Android phone, everything should work. iPhones, that Flash player usually doesn't work. Just download the, well, although no, it's not true. I've seen some iPhones it does work. It's kind of weird, but usually Flash doesn't work on Apple products. Anybody with Mac knows that. So you can go to the download archive section on here, which I'll show you in a second. You can rip all the files to your phone. So we're back on the main page. So now I've shown you, as I said, how to, you know, basic operational function, you know, where everything's laid out in the front. I showed you how to use the post, how to listen and stuff to the radio show. Now let's get to the listen live page. You want to listen live. You feel like listening live to the radio show, right? Well, you come to federaljack.com, right up here in the front. You have Down the Rabbit Hole with Popeye. You click one of two buttons. You can click either the red button here or the green button over here. If you click the green button, this takes you to the archive section, and if you click the red button, it'll take you to the listen live page, where obviously if I was going to go live and you wanted to hear me live, that's where you'd go. So for all intents and purposes, we're going to go listen live page. So you click on this, listen live,
Though, I mean, when
and it opens up
it's
the
the
player. And here you go. This is the listen live page. There's a chat room. If you want to chat, whoever's, you know, whoever happens to be live, like if I'm live, you can come in here, and sometimes there's people in here, sometimes there's a huge amount, sometimes there's a small amount, it all depends. Embedded player here. You can also click on here, and it'll take you right to Truth Frequency Radio. The call-in number. You can also listen if you have TuneIn. If you have a smartphone, get the TuneIn Radio app. It's free. Once you download it, look up Truth Frequency Radio, and then just know what time I'm on air, which is 10 p.m. to midnight, Tuesday to Friday, Eastern Standard Time, as you can see right here on the banner. And then again, this is a very simple listen live page if you just want to interact. And I'm not always interacting with the chat, just so people know. Usually during the breaks, I'll take a quick look in there, but I do use it to throw links if I'm talking about something, like an article or a video or something. I'll throw the link to what I'm talking about in there, so you can at least, it's like a way of interacting with me live. And I do everything myself. I'm my own producer and everything. So if I actually sat in the chat room and tried to do that and talk, I'd lose my train of thought. But I do interact somewhat with the listeners as much as I can. So that's the listen live page. If you click over here on the green button, it brings you to the archive page. Same thing, the main archive page. If you wanted to, you could tweet it out and say, hey, look, DTRH Radio Archives. You can retitle it anything you want and then tweet it out. And boom, there. Now it's out on Twitter. But the archive section is kind of not tricky, but there's a bit to it. So I want to go over this with you in detail. First and foremost, if you don't want to listen on Federal Jack or YouTube, if you want to download the archives, commercial free, because I cut the commercials out myself. If you want to download them commercial free in good quality, high quality audio, go to this page, go to the archive section right here, okay, and you'll see this image here and this image here. Well, an image and then this lettering with it's a hyperlink. I turned it into a hyperlink. Either one of them will bring you to the same location. So you could click this or you could click the image, doesn't matter. It'll bring you to the same spot, which is my downloadable archive section on Federal Jack. This is all of my shows that I've ever done, okay, in downloadable format. Each one of those lines is a show, okay, as you can see. I've done over 300 shows, so well over 300 shows. Anyway, the way it's listed is kind of tricky because it's got it listed. It doesn't list it, 2011, 2012, 2013, like I have it on Federal Jack. It on the download section, I made it very simple, like old school directory listing, so it works with every type of computer out there, whether it's an iPhone, an Android, an iPad. This will work. Okay, you open this up, and each one of these is a hyperlink. So you just find it. So look, all the Januaries, whether it's from 2012 all the way up to 2014 are there, or anything, whatever month, however many corresponding years there are from 2011 when I first started all the way up till now will be in the same section. So it'll be all January, all February, all March, all April, all May, but they're all there. And then each one of these is a hyperlink. So if you're on a computer, if you're on a tablet or whatever, you click it and then, you follow whatever your tablet, your phone says. But if you're on a computer, just right click it and then save link as. And then wherever you want to save it, it downloads it. And it's the MP3. They're high quality. I cut out all the commercials. And a lot of times, especially with some of the older stuff I've done and special broadcast, I've done really, really long interviews. Some of the stuff so long that I couldn't air the entire thing on air live. So I only aired a portion, and you'd have to go into the archives to actually hear the full interview because it's like 3 or 4 hours in length. Well, they're all here. So it's all here for you for free. Feel free to go in there and rip it whenever you want and spread it around to let everybody know. If I go off on a particular rant and you want to cut out that section of the rant and make like a 4 or 5 minute video of just that rant or me going off or talking about a subject, do so. Just throw some graphics for Federal Jack in there for me. And if you do, not only will I post the video on Federal Jack, but I'll give you a shout out live, give you a little love for your YouTube channel. So, feel free. Anyway, archive section. So these are the links to the downloadable section. Now you scroll down to here. It says 2011, 2012, 13, 14, special broadcast, and Popeye and other shows. Special broadcast, there's like special podcasts and stuff I did going back even before I was doing live radio. And up till now, most of them end up now, usually the special broadcasts just end up being a full-length episode of some sort. But there are some really good broadcasts there in that section, so go check it out. Popeye on other radio shows is pretty self-explanatory. Anytime I've been a guest on any other radio show, that's there. And then 11, 12, 13, and 14, it's pretty easy. Each corresponding year, you click on 11, 12, 13, or 14, and it opens up a separate page. Here, I'll show you. And the separate page that it opens up, it has all of my shows from that year, starting from the first of the year going down, from January to December in numerical order. So, as I did them. So the 1st, 3rd, 4th, 6th, 7th, 9th, and then as you scroll down, you see it gets into February, it gets into April, and all that. So it's very, 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 very simple. It's not really hard to operate the website. It's pretty easy. But I figured I would go take a few minutes and just show everybody all the stuff. So that's a quick, brief overview. There's a bunch of radio show chats if you want to listen to each corresponding radio show. There's a bunch of chats for it. Like Hangar 18 is the Truth Frequency Radio Saturday Night Live host roundtable. Mine is in there. Joe's is in there. There's a bunch of different radio show chats in there. The 9/11 archive section is huge. All this stuff, like the store, the video section. If you click on Truth Movies, this will open up my Truth Movie section. I have to fix some of the links in there, but it's just a list of hundreds of different Truth documentaries. Then there's the Next News Network. You open that up. It's actually a page I have with the Next News Network's player on it. If you want to watch Gary Franchi and his crew, I have a feed for them there. I'm telling you, Federal Jack has a lot of stuff. Just people don't realize how much there is to it. You scroll down here. All the stuff on this side are widgets. They're active widgets that you can click on. So like this image right here of me and Lee, this opens up the separate page, and this is where you could go to purchase the book I was telling you about earlier, Me and Lee with Judith Very Baker. It's a signed limited edition, signed from November 22nd, the 50th anniversary of JFK's assassination of 2013, and you know, PayPal button, all that stuff. So that's an active widget. So, but all the other ones are active too. So you scroll down, you see downloadable info vault. You see this. Look, this one you open up. It's a separate. It's a separate post that I made. It's like a special page that I made with a custom video. You can see that I made. It's all embedded in here. Okay, you can click on that, open it up. If you watch it, if you like it, share it. Follow us on Twitter, link to the Facebook. The newest, as I upload my shows to the DTRH Radio Archive YouTube channel, which I'll show you, they're up here. Shows, I think, like 10 or like 9 or 10 of the newest shows. Another link I put up, an interview with Charlotte Iserby, Run from the Cure. There's just all sorts of little goodies here, like 8 hours of Fletcher Prouty interviews. Here's the new the movie page, and then other stuff that I recommend, other websites. Why in the World Are They Spraying? Top Priority, great film. Mabe Russell Archive, go check this out if you don't know who Mabe Russell is. These are Charlotte Iserby's websites. So all that stuff is clickable, and if you click it, it'll bring you to the corresponding page or whatever it is. Now, the Federal Jack downloadable info vault. You either see this widget here, or as I said, up at the very top of the website up here, you see what's in the download section. If you click on that, it opens up this. This is the federaljack.com download section. The download section is pretty self-explanatory. Each one of these, and it's up here just in case people aren't sure. Okay, I explain everything in writing on all the pages, even the archive page too. You'll see type like this, and it tells you what they are. Each image is a button. So click on this, it'll bring you to the index of Popeye, like you just saw. See, index of Popeye, like you saw me do before. JFK assassination archive. You open that one up, boom. Index of JFK assassination stuff. Here's all the shows I've done on JFK, and then a bunch of other evidence and stuff. It's all downloadable and all free. 9/11 archive, same thing. Boom, open that up. Tons of stuff. It's all free. Videos, ebooks. I have an ebook archive. It's the same thing. Like MISC video archive, reality of war, mind control, police state, gun control. I mean, they're all filled. They're not skimpy little archives. They all have a decent amount of information in there that you can go in and download it. And there's a bunch of, if I've done radio shows on that topic, that's in there too as well. So some of the stuff you might see doubles of, like my radio show here or there, but everything else in there, it's all, you know, you're not going to see the same stuff in the JFK archive that you would see in the video archive. It's separate stuff. If it's JFK related, it's going to be here. So like I said, pretty self-explanatory, but I wanted to take a few minutes out again and show you all this because it's important to go over all this stuff. It might seem kind of boring and tedious, but again, I get so many emails and messages and comments asking me questions here or there about how to use Federal Jack or how to listen to the radio show. So there you have it. Now, when you click on the archives that I showed you over here, when you click on each corresponding one and it opens up, as I showed you earlier, it'll open some of the older stuff from like 2011 and the beginning of 2012. It might only open on YouTube. But the newer stuff, you'll see it open like this. You'll click on the link and it'll open up the post like this. It'll have an image of some sort, or some of the older ones don't have an image, but it'll have the write-up like here, and then the player, and then links below it. Again, very easy. I try to make it very friendly. And this is just the website itself. The other way to listen is on YouTube, which is right here. And if you go to YouTube, you shall see that I have, this is my YouTube channel, one of them. It's DTRH Radio Archives, DTRH Radio Archives. This is our YouTube archive channel. And what you'll see is over here in the featured channel, I also have Federal Jack Tube, which was one of my original Federal Jack Tube channels from years ago. I got it back. Got 5,000 subscribers to that one. I got Federal Jack Tube 4, which is still up. The reason why there's a gap in between them is because Federal Jack Tube 2 and 3 were decimated. Just in case you don't know, a lot of my YouTube channels used to get hit back in the day. That's why I have so many. So I have Tube 4, which has about 5,000 subscribers. And then these two are more of archive channels. The two active ones that I use right now are Tube 6, Federal Jack Tube 6. This one has almost 10,000. It's a little bit under 10,000 subscribers. And the archive channel, which you see here. The other channel I have, which is my other archive channel, is The Answer to 1984 Is. And I just use this to put up some full-length videos and stuff. This was actually given to me by another YouTuber a long time ago. So I have 3 channels that I use pretty much that they're there, but I don't upload them to them often, which are this one, and this one. And then I have the 2 active ones, which if you subscribe to, you will see the most activity on, which is Federal Jack Tube 6 and Down the Rabbit Hole Radio Archives, which is DTRH Radio Archives. And again, that's where all the newer shows get uploaded. If you click on the videos tab, you'll see these are all the radio shows. Anytime I upload an archive to YouTube of the radio show, it goes to this channel first before it goes anywhere else. So again, subscribe to DTRH Radio Archives and then Federal Jack Tube 6. You can subscribe to these two as well, Tube 4, and The Answer to 1984 Is, but Tube 6 and DTRH Radio Archives are the 2 active channels that I'm currently using right now. The other ones I upload stuff to it once in a while, but they're more archive channels for all the stuff that's already on there. So there you go. Now let's move on to, I want to show you the 2 Twitter accounts and Facebook really quick, and we're done. So about 2 more minutes. So 2 Twitter accounts. Here is the Federal Jack Twitter account. This is what you'll see. Just look up at Federal Jack. It's really simple. At Federal Jack. Can't miss it. The image is Uncle Jack here with the 2 puppets and the federaljack.com black and white logo. And follow us on Twitter. I tweet stuff out daily. Tons and tons of stuff. And the other page is DTRH_Popeye. And this is, I have one for Federal Jack and then one for Down the Rabbit Hole with Popeye, my radio show. Both of them I tweet the same stuff out on, but I would subscribe to both channels regardless. So it's at DTRH_Popeye, and the other one is at Federal Jack. Then, of course, there's my 2 channels, which are Popeye Federal Jack, which you can go to, and it says just Popeye Federal Jack. It's right up here. You can see it. Look me up, friend me. And then I have my fan page, which is over here, Fed Jack. So look up Fed Jack. That's the fan page. Got over 10,000 likes here. And then look up Popeye Federal Jack and shoot me a friend request. And if you're not a troll, if you're a real person, I will respond. And that's how you can listen, ladies and gentlemen, and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, listen to the radio show, go to Federal Jack, how you operate it, how you can download stuff for free from the website. You can use it as a resource. That's why I built the website itself, Federal Jack, all these years ago, and I've been putting it together. I put up news and articles on it, so there's news and information daily, but it's an archive, so not only does it have newer stories, but if you go back, it's got all these older stories, so you can look back and it has a paper trail of evidence you can go through. And it's got videos, and it's got ebooks, and it's got all this downloadable stuff, all for free, as information should be. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all the time I have. I'm sure I've talked your ear off for the evening. Thank you for hanging out with me this long. Keep up the fight. And remember, as I always say in the radio show, the solutions to our problems are an inside job. I love you all, and I'll catch you all again live on the air. I'm out.